Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the Green Mustache Virtual Health and See the Sky Thrivers. Super excited today because it is number one, my very first day in our new office. This is finally, we're out of our 56 square foot place that we've been working out of for the last 2 years with our 5 staff, and now we are actually in this beautiful 1,000 square foot office with our two incredible people here that we are going to be chatting with. I'm going to introduce you to them in just a second. Hopefully you've been following our Facebook Live shows every week that we've been posting. I'm Nicolette, CEO and founder of the Green Mustache. Also founder of Virtual Health Consulting, where we teach people how to eat real to heal. So we teach them how to use food as medicine so that they can reverse disease, cancel prescribed surgeries, get off prescription medications, and ultimately feel healthy. Energize your body, get better sleep, increase your digestion capacity so you can absorb nutrients, and so forth. The benefits of switching on to an organic, plant-based, whole foods diet is incredible. If you haven't tried it, you need to start now. A few other things that I want to just wrap up before we get into this is we are launching our new health center in Pemberton, BC. So if you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness, a degenerative disease, cancer, it could be diabetes, infertility, acne, it could be anything where you do not want to have to stay on prescribed meds for that chronic illness, come visit us at our health center. We will make cold pressed juices for you. We are going to prepare organic meals that are easy to digest, that are nutrient dense. In the spring, we're going to actually be building out our first ever biodynamic garden. We're so excited to have that, where we can use some of those foods to also supply the Green Mustache. If you haven't checked out the Green Mustache, please get yourself in there and learn what it means to eat real to heal. Now, today for today's interview, and it's another exciting day. We have a new office, but we're actually doing our first live interview with guests. So you don't have to just stare at my pretty face anymore. You can actually stare at these beautiful faces here. So here we have Hannah Christian and we have Jaymie Friesen, and they're going to tell you how they launched their incredible business, Natural Vegan Products. The company name is Natural Vegan?
Yep.
Natural Vegan.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to show you what we're going to be talking about. So I have a sample bowl here. It's a dish that literally you can eat, but it's actually beauty products. And we have soap, we have deodorant, toothpaste, shampoo and conditioner, body wash. Really, there's no excuse after you hear how these incredible people started their business, why you shouldn't be using food as medicine, but literally in your beauty products as well. And not that I'm saying eat it. You're going to use it on the body. But anyway, so we're just gonna roll with this. I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions. I really am truly fascinated by the two of you. You guys are young, okay? Young. Like, I seriously think I got my act together about 5 years ago. I'm 42 years old, but you guys are 21? 21 and 22. And 22. Okay, so I just learned today that you actually are not a couple. That's me assuming.
Contrary to popular belief.
Contrary to popular belief. And you live on a 40-acre farm with your boyfriend, is that correct?
Yeah.
In Langley. Okay, and you were managing a $150 million online fax business.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a software company that specialized in telecommunication software.
Right. Okay, so that's, 22 years old and managing a business like that. That's pretty incredible. So then tell me how you two met and how you got together to start this business.
I guess we met probably like 5.5 years ago.
Yeah, we met a long time ago through friends in high school and stuff, so we kind of knew each other.
Yeah, we knew of each other kind of, but then he started hanging out with my boyfriend again recently, and we sort of all realized that we had the exact same interests. So
Which are?
Well, it kind of started with a farm, actually,
Yeah,
the property,
yeah.
buying the land.
Yeah.
I met Steven, had his boyfriend, a little over a year ago now. Him and I sat down for coffee, and he kind of released this crazy plan to go buy a big chunk of land and live off grid and farm all of our own stuff and all these things. And I was just smiling the whole time because I've been planning the same thing since I was about 12 years old. Yeah. And I kind of said, like, I can't really let you do that alone. I got to be part of this too.
Yeah.
And then at the time, Hannah was also making all of her homemade body care, cosmetics and stuff.
I sort of started doing it just on my own, like for myself, because I couldn't really find anything that was super natural and vegan and cruelty free.
Right.
So I just sort of started researching and then made my own stuff and then kind of took off from there.
Yeah, I started buying their stuff.
I want to go back because I have 3 children, and you know my kids literally they're immersed in our business life. I mean, we are close as a family. We talk business at home. We talk life at home. We talk organic food. We talk health. We talk coffee enemas, which are a huge part of the therapy I teach. Like everything's on the table at our house. But I'm also curious, like, what kind of adults are they going to be? So I want you to take me back to the first moment that you can remember where, animal cruelty, veganism, probably vegetarian, where, take me back to that very first moment where this became your world. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah, I do. I had just graduated high school and I didn't really have any friends, and I kind of realized that I wasn't as nice of a person as I wanted to be. So I decided that I was going to change my life for the better, not with like the animal side of things, but it was just for like my own benefit and everyone around me. So I wasn't happy, and then I started living a different lifestyle. And then maybe a couple months after that, I started realizing that I'm living this like cruelty-free lifestyle for humans, but it didn't extend to animals. So then I decided, like, that's it. Like, I'm not going to eat meat anymore. Like, let's just try that first. Because I really did love animals. Like, I genuinely adored every single animal out there. But I, of course, had all those same excuses, right? Like, I wouldn't make a difference in this and that. And then I kind of just said, like, enough is enough. Like, just do it. So then I did. I cut out meat, and then sort of like snowballed from there. And then a couple months later, I went vegan. And it took me a while, though, about a year to do the whole transition. But now it's been, I was 18 at the time when I started, so it's been about almost 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I love the link that you made between not being healthy and like happy with yourself or happy. Yeah. And then what do you remember that leap? Like, did you watch a documentary? Was it a book that you read that you thought that's the answer, as opposed to, some people might have turned to alcohol to make them happy. Some people might have turned to drugs. Some people might have turned to, anything to make them happy, or maybe a sport like running or something. But you took a leap into protecting the planet and animals. Like, how did that happen?
Honestly, I don't know. I remember the day. It was, we used to eat really bad food. So we had just gotten A&W, I think. Yeah, it was A&W. And I had this burger in front of me, and I instantly just I saw the animal rather than the actual burger. And I was like, I can't do it. So I literally pushed it aside and I didn't eat it. I don't think I ate dinner that day.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember what exactly made me do it, but.
And, you said you didn't have a lot of friends in high school, so I'm assuming you weren't influenced by the potential friends that maybe you didn't have. So was it, was this kind of conversation prominent in your high school at all? Did you hear other people speaking about it? Or it really just was a leap of faith into this new world? It
wouldn't have been in people in high school. If anything, maybe influencers on social media, vegans on social media that I liked for reasons other than veganism, and then they just promoted veganism as well. And then that sort of made me change my mind, but
incredible. Yeah. And how have you been feeling since then? It's been 3 weeks.
Oh, so much better. Right. Way better. So much more energy and just overall more healthy. Wow. Like, I don't feel so sluggish and weighed down all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, incredible. And then, let's jump to your history and that lead. So you were 12 years old. So what was happening in your brain, in your life, when you were 12 years old that made you want to have an off-grid farm? I just want to know, just so I can plant that seed in my daughters. I haven't done it already.
I think it was a far earlier age than that. I think that was the point of just that idea. But prior to that, I think I always have a lot of my mindset was always kind of going towards that stuff. A lot of it, I think, came from my mom's side. She came around with more spirituality, and we were both status Indians of Canada, so we went to and did the whole, we were a big part of the whole Native culture when I was younger, and that was a huge influence on me, whether I remember a lot of it or not, I think. So it's, a lot of it for me, I've only been vegan vegetarian for just over a year now or so, but the culture aspect, the nature aspect, the animal aspect, and that type of thing was probably the first influence on me. as well as my mom used to always tell me, she used to get mad every time I said I can't do anything. And she would freak out, like brutally freak out, right?
Yeah.
She would say, like, you can do whatever you want in the world. And later in life, when I was around 16 or so, I started to realize that, I was angry about something. I don't know why. I was just an angry teenager, I guess. And I took a year off. I dropped out of school. I took a year off in all of grade 11, and I just I found out who I was, just personal development. There's a lot of laying around, a lot of thinking, meditation, reading, etc. And I boiled everything down to a why, and to, like, at the very core of life, the very core of our meaning, our purpose, what is it that we're going to do here, and that kind of, I don't know, has ingrained itself in my mindset ever since.
That's an incredible story. It's an incredible story, especially because I come from, when I did my master's, it was looking at the education system, and it was actually called deschooling for eco-citizenry. And in the 21st century, like, how are we going to create these individuals who are connected to the earth, connected to themselves, connected to what needs to be done to essentially make a better place? And what it boiled down to is that we need to pull them out of school. And and we need to dismantle the education system. It's not a very old system. It's like 150 years old max. And in fact, literacy rates have never been as high as they were prior to schools being implemented, which is interesting around the Industrial Revolution. And literacy rates mean scientific literacy, natural literacy, math literacy, English literacy, everything. So here you are, you decided to take a year off school, you meditated, you connected with yourself, you started asking big questions that, like, a lot of people in their 40s and 50s are asking, like, what's my why in the world, what's my purpose, and you did that. So anyway, thank you very much for just ticking off one of my boxes, again, for why we probably need to dismantle schools, and get, kids really, really involved in the community, especially because I think our youth have the answers. Like, they're so in touch with what's happening in the world. Yeah. Their brains are so alive and on fire. They're not weighted down by, banking and taxes and mortgages and kids and everything. So their minds are big, and they can think big, and we really need to honor that. So I love this. It's not what I was expecting out of this interview. So, okay, so here you are, and how are you feeling now that you are living your life, cruelty-free, vegan, vegetarian?
I think it depends. As far as diet-wise, I feel lighter and whatnot, which is nice. I never did eat bad. I've always been kind of natural food kind of guy. I don't think I've eaten fast food since I was 12. I've always found it I never thought it was food, even when I was young. Which is also probably an influence from certain individuals in my life and whatnot. But as far as everything else, at this age, I do think it does take a little bit more effort to balance between, like you were talking about, like taxes and home ownership and all of those big things that people stress about these days. It takes a little bit more effort, but at the end of the day, I tend not to really care about those things and just keep moving forward with what I'm here to do.
Awesome. Now, the fact that you are First Nations, and one of the things that we're doing is we launched a nonprofit society called See the Sky Thrivers, and that's where we work with individuals and communities who can't access the Green Mustache, can't access richer health consulting services. And what we do is and working with First Nations definitely is our top priority, where we really want to, and I hate using the word educate because it's not an education, it's a returning to and remembering, because that knowledge was there. People, for thousands of years, we knew how to use plant medicine, plants as medicine, plants as food, plants as happiness, plants for, everything, for emotional survival, for absolutely everything. And it's been so exciting because we landed our first contract with Squamish Nation. And so I've been working with the youth. We have 3 contracts, one to work with youth, one to work with young adults, and one to work with the adults. And really around type 2 diabetes, because as you probably know, diabetes, type 2 diabetes in First Nations communities, 50% of the population now get diagnosed. And 1 in 4 Canadians are going to be diagnosed with diabetes in their lifetime. So it's really an epidemic. And so I'm super excited about that, and I'm going to definitely rope you into the world, to that world as well, because I think that it's been exciting. I work with these kids right now every Monday evening, and we bring food and we make, you know, really clean, healthy desserts with no refined products, and it's all whole foods. And these kids are incredible, and I love it because I say, you know, so tell me about some of your favorite fruits. Some of the kids are like licorice fruit and sorrel berries and stoneberry, and I'm like, I love you. And yeah, we need to bring that knowledge back out and make it accessible to everyone. So I think that's incredible as well. So so then you were chatting and you found that you had this commonalities, you know, you're talking about living off grid. So tell me about how you came to this new business, your natural vegan product line.
I sort of was just making the products on my own for myself and friends and family. I wasn't like selling more or anything. And then Jaymie's got the whole business side of things, and I'm not like that at all. I'm more the maker, creator type person. So we sort of just put our minds together and figured that we could make this huge. We could do some great things if we work together. Because if I did it on my own, it wouldn't be where it is right now, and I think vice versa as well.
Yeah, yeah, just coming together with all the right skill sets and doing what you love to do on both sides. So do you run? So what? So you're making the product, and then you are focusing on
marketing,
systemizing. Okay, and you just launched your first Kickstarter campaign. And tell me how that went.
Great.
Tell the audience how it went, actually.
We hit our goal in the first 48 hours, which was just under $5,000, which was the bare minimum, absolute bare minimum that we needed to make the order of our packaging. Kickstarter is for all biodegradable packaging, and then spell bags, sugarcane plastics, things that are as biodegradable as possible. So the best solutions that are on the market now, in the future we will develop our own that are better, but for now we need something to start. And now we've set a stretch goal for $15,000
already at just over 10,000.
Yeah. Did you hear that, everybody? Let's help them hit their $15,000 stretch goal. You can go on to Kickstarter. We'll post the link after this, so if anybody wants to support this incredible business, then you can donate to the company. I know I'm going to do it for sure.
Thank you.
And so, so chances are we're probably going to hit that stretch goal, I'm sure.
Well, I think so. I think we're going to go over. I think we can hit 20. I think our goal is not really the money, but as far as the amount of people that we can spread it to.
Exactly.
Is what we're going for. So the rewards we have out there are amazing. You know,
really great. Really
17 products, every single product that we make for $70, or kind of our most popular package for about $40 or something. So that's insane. Those you can't find even mainstream chemical filled brands that, you know, cost pennies for them. But yeah.
So, okay, so tell me what's in your product, because so you reached out to me via email to introduce yourself, and then we followed up, and then we finally got to connect on the phone. I remember I was like in the rain, in my car, at my daughter's soccer practice, and I was like, oh, here we go. It's like we get contacted all the time by companies who want to sell
here we go.
That's what I was thinking. And seriously, by companies that are like, yeah, we have this natural product line that we want to, you know, would you like to curate the green mustache and promote it for us? And I'm like, okay, let's get into it. Like, what are the ingredients? Yeah. And what I said to you is, can I eat it? And you're like, that's so funny, because you were tell me about that. Like, I said that, and you were actually doing a demo that day.
We're filming the video of Hannah and I eating the products that day. Like later that day, we had it all flat out. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then right away we told them, like, okay, you are my people, let's chat. Because one of the things that I teach in my workshops is, and maybe you guys know this, I just learned about it. In 2013, a study came out that said that we actually have spiders that live in the pores of our face. And they're male spiders and female spiders, and they create this balance to actually keep your skin healthy. And so often if I can't remember if there's more male spiders or female spiders, then you end up with things like acne and rosacea and all of these. And I just love that, because I'm always telling my daughters, I'm like, never kill anything, but especially the spiders, because they like keep our, you know, world in balance. And
interesting. That's really cool.
It's really cool. And I think it was a National Geographic that it came out, and all the studies related to it. And one workshop, there was a dermatologist, and she said, we just started learning about this right now in your dermatology course. And I just thought it was incredible, because you know, in workshops as well, I often say, like, we can't wait for science to catch up. There's some stuff that we just intuitively need to guess, you know, that things exist and that we shouldn't be destroying it, and we need to take the precautionary principle. So I just, you know, so when I say that you have to be able to eat your product, it's so important. And I don't think, I mean, I stopped using beauty products probably 20 years ago, and I washed my face with, you know, pretty much water if I wash my face at all. And I have pretty clear, amazing skin, which I wasn't always having when I was in high school and I was eating crap food and like living on Spore bars and Diet Coke and things. I did it for a few short years, but I mean, I felt terrible and my skin broke out and I was like, I looked awful. And the minute I stopped eating this stuff and went back to, you know, pretty much using like natural products and water, then everything cleared right up. It was that easy. And it was that cheap too. So here you have your line. So then the next question I asked was the shelf life. Because if you can eat it, and there's really not a long shelf life on your product, right?
No.
So I want to know what's in your product. Tell me about the shelf life, and how are you going to get it to people, and how are they going to access your product?
So basically, I guess there's a lot to touch on, but like, so for example, the deodorant, that is made with powders, so like arrowroot powder, tapioca starch, baking soda, all edible stuff, and then mixed with like butters, like shea butter, coconut oil, candelilla wax, and then the shampoo and conditioner is just saponified coconut oil, so that's the only thing that the soap is actually made with.
Wow.
Yeah, which is, I love that. And then we just add in like an herbal extract, basically like a really strong brewed tea that we add to it for the nutrition. Yeah. And then the conditioner is just water and oils and essential oils. The toothpaste is just clay and water and essential oils. And the soaps are just pure oil, like olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil, and sunflower oil. Yeah.
So how did you have a science background? Did you go online, Pinterest it yourself? Like
it was all online. I just researched other people's products or DIY sort of recipes.
That's do it yourself for the non-millennials in the room and the audience.
I never really stuck to someone's specific recipe though. I always added in my own stuff or my own essential oils. And then I just kept going and kept researching how to do certain things. Like our shampoo when we first started was just the soap, which is really liquidy, essential oils and a bit of oil. So it wasn't the nicest experience to put in your hair because it poured out of your hand, right?
Yeah.
So it took me a while to find something that would thicken it nicely, and finally did it. So now we have like the thick shampoo, and the conditioner used to just be water and apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
And essential oil, I think, which as well was not very nice to put in your hair.
It worked. It actually worked very well.
Yeah, but it just, you waste a lot of it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so then, I looked up how to make it thick, and then created my own recipe off of that, but it takes months.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine.
A lot of trial and error.
It took us over a year, and I think we should also say thank you to all of our competitors who were halfway there. But we did kind of research the most natural competitors on the market, and we would take like 3 or 4 of the top ones that we like the best, and we would test them and then get rid of all of the chemical ingredients that they have, and then find replacements and things like that. But over a year of guessing and testing
and washing yourself, testing in the shower,
every day different shampoo and
delivering samples to all of our friends and family.
Got like number 17, giving it to people.
I love that because it really shows, you know, a lot of people come to me as well and say, you know, how do I start my own business? And, you know, and I'm like, well, you find a product and you put your heart into it and you design it and you create it, and it's a labor of love in the beginning. Sometimes it does feel like it's laborious as you're going through, you're not ever going to get there.
Oh yeah, it was like 8 months just working on the shampoo and conditioner and deodorant. It was so frustrating, but yeah, they're so much better than they were.
This is amazing. So people can take this stuff camping and use it. It all just naturally degrades. It's all, you can compost it, you can which is incredible. So now the packaging right now, I know that these are samples, so this isn't what it actually looks like, but you know, we have these sweet bottles, but they are plastic right now, the samples. And so tell me about the plastic. So you did start to tell us about it, but the packaging, that, I mean, it's important, right? If you have a, incredible organic vegan product, but then we're packaging it in plastic, I mean, it's the same thing that we have with Green Mustache. It's like, how do you get a product to someone? And it's actually why we don't even bottle our juice, because we don't want to waste the glass or the plastic or whatever it is, and until they come up with a compostable bottle that,
Which is amazing that they have it.
Actually, I did see a video for one. It was made of something from the ocean, and water is what keeps its form, and then as soon as the water's gone, it starts to compost instantly. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I know a few companies list to be like, the minute your product launches, like, we will purchase from you, but we won't do, we won't compromise on our product. So it's kind of why we stay smaller, and then eventually, like, as the science does catch up, we can hopefully utilize that. But transporting glass and transporting plastic and stuff. So how are you going to pack? You were saying you're going to have.
So for anything that with a push, like deodorant and lip balm, will be in biodegradable push tubes. So that's like a cardboard and paper mixture.
Oh, wow.
And so that's it's actually quite nice. I like it.
Yeah, I love them, and you can just throw it right in your compost once it's done, which is amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So anything with a push tube is that there also are jars. So in the future, if we have anything in jars, then we would put that as well. Problem with jars is that
I have my coffee syrup in one of the biodegradable jars.
They're just a little bit bulkier.
Yeah,
and so for shipping and whatnot, it costs a little bit more. We're trying to keep everything as affordable as possible for everybody to be able to use these. And then toothpaste and moisturizers and things will be a sugarcane plastic tube. So that's like produced from sugarcane rather than conventional oil and things like that. Obviously unsustainable. And then for conditioner, shampoo, and whatnot will be in spout bags. Spout bags are plastic, but they're 90% less plastic than traditional bottles, which is the best scenario that's on the market right now.
The goal is to have all of our products in something biodegradable, so that once they're done, you can put it in the compost.
So once we're up and running, I'd like to start a little R&D team, a little research and development team to create better packaging and do it open source so that other companies like yourself and everybody else can use those and develop those as well, because I find it incredible that there's no solution on the market yet. I think there is something out there, and I think that we can find it, and our goal here with this is to set an example for other businesses to say that you can do this, and this is the right way to do it.
And one thing that I've come to realize, especially since being a business owner, is that a lot of times things just don't exist because nobody's asked for it, right? There's nobody's demanded it and said, hey, can you make this? But what I love about having a company is that you get that edge where you can ask for it, and then a million other people are like, well, I'll make it for you. And and I love the open source concept as well for architecture, for medicine, for science, for research, for packaging, for absolutely everything. So again, another check on the supervisor. That's amazing. So now, where are people going to be able to access your product?
So our main business model is a subscription business model. So people will come in, they'll customize their box and let us know exactly what they want. And we have weighed everything out per day per average use. So we'll be sending an exact 30-day supply. And the reason this is because we have no preservatives, no chemical preservatives at all. We
use willow bark extract, which actually does prevent against mold and bacteria, gram-positive and negative bacteria, yeast, everything, but we haven't tested how long it will last. I'm assuming a while.
We figured 3 months minimum. Which is, it seems like it's not that bad, but compared to conventional products, they last years. You can put them on a shelf for 5 years and it would be totally fine.
So I still have deodorants that I can't throw out because it's plastic, and I'm like, I don't want to waste it. And it's just been living in my cupboard, and they're probably about 5-10 years old. Get rid of them.
Which is crazy.
The deodorant and the chopsticks and the soap bars should last a while because there's no water in them. It's the water that grows the bacteria. So they're just oils and powders. So they should last at least a year, if not longer.
But I love this subscription model because you can just get everything that you need that you're going to use, have it delivered. It gets delivered to your house. Okay.
Or we'll have we can deliver them to like a health food store or a local cafe or
I go to our next point. So the purpose is basically the monthly subscription option is really our only option because it needs to be fresh. which is kind of a crazy concept to people because they think like cosmetics, body care stuff wise need to be fresh. It's not food, but in this case, it technically could be.
Well, your skin is your biggest organ.
Exactly.
I was just gonna say that.
If you wouldn't put it in your body, why put it on your body?
Yeah, because your skin absorbs everything, gas, liquid, solids, everything goes in through the skin. So yeah, no, that's a really important point that I think we take for granted that our entire body is connected to our environment, internally, externally, all of the toxins that are floating around in the environment, whether you're consuming them or not, they're getting into you. You breathe them in, they get into your skin. So it's really important that people understand that you might not be making the conscious choice, or you're making all these other conscious choices daily to, have a clean life, but then here you are absorbing it, through this beautiful, organ that we have, our skin and our lungs. Okay, so people can order in the subscription model. I mean, so many businesses are doing that now, right? Like they have, and they're doing it really well, actually. So you have a lot of, and I always need to think about competitors. Like I don't like that word because, I think that we stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. And so, and it's how things move forward and evolve and get better. So I like to, a mentor once said that to think about our competitors is we have a competitor crush, and so it's like you're crushing your competitor, you love everything they're doing, but you just want to make it a little bit better. Yeah. So
it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it is, and that way you move forward positively. So, can people buy this? Start purchasing now, or when are you?
Right now, it's Kickstarter, so we've directed everything to Kickstarter to help us reach that $15,000 goal. Okay. But come February, March, we'll be launching full-on online, so everybody can go on our website and find it there. Okay. And then the other side of our business model is to be in physical locations as well, but obviously we don't have a shelf life. Yeah. So we'd like to do sample stands with iPads, and we started designing it a little bit, so we'll be having videos playing so people can come and see and listen and hear what we're all about, and then sample our products, and then there'll be an iPad there that they can sign up on, and then we will ship our stuff right to them. So that's kind of our physical store compromise where you can still receive it fresh every month.
Yeah, that way they don't have to sort of remember the name and go home and then look it up and then order. They can just see it, order it right then and there, and then it's being delivered.
And we were talking about getting one of these iPads in the Green Mustache locations. We currently have 3 locations, and we're going to have 6 by February, and then we're still expanding after that. So, to be able to have these iPads in our restaurant, so when people are there and waiting for their food, they can mention their order. It'll show up at their house, or at a local health food store. So I love that. So I really hope we can make that work.
Absolutely,
the product. Can it go in the fridge?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean,
it'd be a bit cold coming out when you use your body, but
I mean that would extend the shelf life, I would imagine. So
just curious, because if someone's going on vacation or something, and they're not going to bring it with them, then they can sit in the fridge and come back. I'm just curious. I did use the soap this morning and I loved it. It smells amazing, and it's because we're in a new building and there's no soap anymore in our building. So I was so thankful to have this. Because I think there was a bottle of dish soap in the bathroom, conventional bright yellow, and where's the yellow? I love the creams and the grays and everything in your product. So I want to step away from business a little bit. Tell me about your pig. I just love it.
Oh yeah, I really loved him. Well, years ago we had adopted a potbelly. He was just a little baby. He had been attacked by a dog, so he had been taken from his mom. So we took him from the farm that lives next door, and then we fell in love with him. He was like our baby. We built a huge pen outside, a house for him and everything. And then we had him neutered, and he never woke up from the anesthetic. Yeah, he was just about 3 months old, I think. So we were heartbroken. We loved him so much. And then about a year went by, maybe a bit less, and we were going through withdrawals. Like, we wanted a pig again so bad. But we won't buy from a breeder, so we started looking through Craigslist and Kijiji, and then my friend found Crowley is his name, found him on Kijiji. He would have been born like 2 days prior, and he was put on Kijiji for $80. And so I contacted the seller, and she ran a farm in Surrey, I think. And she told me that he had been stepped on by his mama pig, so she says, and then that his back legs sort of were a little off. They didn't really work very well. So she took him to the vet, paid $80 to get him checked out to see what I'm assuming to see if he would be like a profitable pig. And I'm assuming she found out that he wouldn't because it's a hassle, right? Like it's a big responsibility. So she put him out for sale for the exact price that she paid at the vet, and basically just wanted to make sure she didn't lose money on one of her animals. So we picked him up when he was 5 days old. He was like this big, like he could fit right in Steven's hand. Yeah, he was really tiny. And yeah, we've had him ever since. He's going to be 2 in January.
Wow. And how, you told me how much he weighs. How much does he weigh?
We haven't been able to weigh him because he's so big and we can't get him to the vet. So we have to have a vet bring a huge scale to our place, right? But we're estimating around 450 pounds, maybe a bit less, maybe 400 to 450, but he's massive.
Wow.
Huge.
And does he live outside, inside? How does it?
When he was a baby, he was inside with us all the time. Yeah, we had him in the bed with us and he slept inside until he was too big because he started to get really big and they grow fast.
Right.
He was almost full grown by the time he was like 7, 8 months old.
Wow.
So we built him a big house, insulated with a heater and everything. Yeah, we have it. He's so spoiled. So he sleeps in there, and then we had a pen for him, like a fenced-in area, but we built it on a hill because we had the potbelly who wasn't handicapped.
Right.
But Crowley can't get up the hill now, and it's really soft ground as well because it's all dirt, right? So now we just open the front door and let him wander around the driveway and the property. Like some days he'll come and he's in the back field or maybe behind the shop or almost into the road. Like he just goes and does whatever he wants.
That's amazing. And you know all about Esther, the Wonder Pig as well.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. She's big though. She's like 700 pounds.
700 pounds?
Yeah. He's small compared to her.
Gosh. And they thought, if anybody doesn't know about Esther and the Wonder Pig, this couple, were they from in Ontario?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I'm probably getting it wrong.
Yeah.
And they thought they were getting a mini pig that doesn't really get to be very big, and he ended up being, was he a potbelly pig as well? Or she a potbelly pig as well?
She might have been sold as a potbelly, but she's a full big, big pig.
Oh my goodness. And then, so anyway, with that to actually that opened their eyes to the world of animals and environmental issues, and then they became vegan and started this incredible organization now.
They quit their jobs to start the rescue center that they have now. I'm pretty sure they did,
Oh my God. And so now, we have a rescue center for not just pigs, but all the animals. So they
they have a turkey, and the turkey just will walk through their house and everything.
Oh my goodness.
I love it. And if you ever watch their videos, they have a pink trailer that they painted pink on the outside for Esther, so she has her own house, which is what we're going to do eventually when we build, because when we build our own place, we want to have a separate like indoor area for Crowley so that he doesn't have to sleep outside.
I love it how we are, we can commune with nature at all times. And so, okay, so that's a great segue into my next question, which is about this land and what you're going to do with the 40 acres. Is it that, or is there another section of land?
40 acres is just Stephen's dad's property, but we, the three of us, bought 160 acres in Rock Creek.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so tell me what the dream is for that, and then obviously the business is all part of that as well. Yeah. So tell me all about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that almost started before the business, but we bought it just to live on, just go off grid and be able to live with nature and whatnot. And we planned on having kind of educational programs and stuff up there and be able to do an Airbnb style like homes. So people can come up and we would have people that live there permanently with us and help work on the land and things like that, take care of the animals. As well as then the guests that will be able to come for the retreat style stuff. And it's gorgeous up there. We have 160 acres. The first 40 acres is field, and then we have forest. We have some rolling hills, and in the back corner we have a big mountain.
Beautiful.
So we plan on doing the whole bit. Cafe on top of the mountain, mountaintop studio for yoga.
That sounds heavenly.
And all the housing we want to do all the alternative type housing. So dome houses, crate houses, earth ships.
And earth ship.
Everything and anything sustainable and off-grid.
we partnered with some construction companies and been getting all of their offcuts. We've been amazed at the stuff that they throw away.
Oh,
Like, enough to build it in like a huge house.
Yeah.
They were just throwing it out and they gave it to us all for free.
Well, we're just renovating our wellness center right now, and it's amazing. Our plumber who's coming in today, he's like, I have a bathtub that this other construction site, I was just, they bought it, they didn't like it, so he's like, can I give you a bathtub? And I was like, yes, please. So,
of course.
And we just finished renovation in the full basement, and we found everything is off Craigslist, or we have the Rebuild It Center, which is right next door, and so it's all furniture and building supplies that are going to go to landfill, but they're beautiful. Like, a lot of them are amazing, brand new. So I would say 90% of everything that we use in our restaurants as well, and in our home, it's all reused or from Craigslist.
I love that.
And when I was building our location in Vancouver, it was funny because I always thought it would be hilarious to have a drone or a camera following me around, because I was doing like midnight deals on Hastings Street to get like a vintage baby chair for our restaurant, because I didn't want to go to IKEA and buy a high chair. No offense to IKEA, sorry, in case you have become a sponsor, but you do make great. I love packaged flatware furniture because it's minimal shipping, and so on. And so now with our house, it's incredible because most of it will just be all, for the most part, to reuse. Like, even like as we tear down a wall, we keep all the timber and use it again. And yeah, it's so incredible how much stuff gets wasted. So let's go back to the earth chip, because in case people don't know what an earth chip is, so there's an incredible documentary, please watch it, it's called Garbage Warrior. It definitely changed my life years ago when I watched it. And basically earth chips were designed by this architect from Taos, New Mexico, who, when he graduated from architecture school, he thought, it's crazy how we build homes, they're not sustainable. They waste so much energy. They are pollutant creating, and really we can build buildings that don't do that, that have actually a net zero impact or gives back to the planet. So we created what's called an earth chip. And they say that why maybe the earth chip didn't become as huge and popular as it could have been was just because they called it the earth chip. But basically, it's, I know, if they had chosen like a name like Tesla, for example, maybe it would have become
I love the name earth chip. I think it's awesome.
I love the name too, because essentially if you are on a ship in outer space, you can only use what's on that ship, and you have to recycle everything. You have to, you need to be able to, maybe even like in that, movie Mars, grow your own potatoes, but basically you have to live super sustainably and economically to be able to sustain yourself. So with the earth ship, it captures water from the sky, sometimes even through condensation and through rain and onto the roof, and then that water that gets used for the toilets and cooking and absolutely everything gets recycled it can be recycled up to 5 times. So even the black water, so your poop, just in case people don't know what black water is and black waste is. So your black water, your gray water, so like your pee and your shower water and your toilet water, and it recycles it 5 times over, and it puts it through garden systems. You can actually put it through even more complex systems, so you can actually drink that water afterwards. And if you think I'm crazy when I say you can drink your poo water and your pee water and other wastewater, I'm not crazy, because actually in Singapore, they Singapore, because they have such a huge issue with water over there. There's not enough of it for the population, and so they're recycling their gray water and actually turning it into drinking water, which I think is incredible. So I'm not crazy. That's governments that are doing this. Yes, so I think we should be able to eat and drink everything, because that's how you know it's truly clean.
Yeah.
And so the earth strip is amazing, and they are made out of recycled tires that get compounded with earth, and then you build these structures. They're south-facing. You can grow bananas and oranges in any climate, and they're essentially like off-grid. They're like completely off-grid. Mm-hmm. So I had a dream, and you might laugh about this, but you won't laugh about this actually. You'll laugh about how I wrote about it. So Thomas Ostabo was the Vancouver sustainability manager, and he was from Portland and really progressive. And so I drew out a schematic of essentially what you have described that you want to do. So it's this piece of land where it's going to have, every building will be a different building design with different eco-green building principles. So architects and engineers and everybody can come from all around the world and come and stay in it and touch the walls and see the mechanics and see how it all works so that you can see how to live off grid. And that was my dream then. And I remember like I pushed to get a meeting with him. And I'm sure when I sat down with him and I said, he's so busy, right? And I'm like, and I was 21 at the time maybe or something. I don't even know how old I was at the time. And I said, I want to build this piece of land. It'll be like an Airbnb. Like they didn't even have Airbnb, but a bed and breakfast, retreat center, and we'll have all these different buildings. So literally your dream. So I'm like, in love with you guys. And so now you're going to do this on this property, and then will you move the business there as well? And will you grow some of the products? Or tell us about or at least separate.
It's tough to move the business there because of shipping.
Yeah,
because it's so far out of the city center and away. Like it's actually fairly close to the border, but it's quite far out. So what we'll probably end up doing is growing as many ingredients as we can there. Which right now we need to upscale that a lot, judging by how successful our Kickstarter campaign is. So we would ideally grow, process on the farm, and then bring large loads down to a shipping center, more city and border based, and that way we can service all of North America with 2 centers, likely.
Wow, that's incredible.
We'll probably do a lot of the research and development of new products on the Rock Creek property, and then more of the manufacturing and shipping from down.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah, which makes sense. So what are, we're going to wrap up here, unless you have any questions or if there's anything, but I want to make sure that all of your dreams and wishes will come true. So the way to make that happen is just to simply ask. So what are 3 things that you would love from, you know, whether it's suppliers or engineers, or it could be anybody, businesses like ours, how can we support you? How can the world support you in making sure that you do launch your product throughout North America via your 2 shipping centers? What do you guys need besides money? I know money. Everybody get on to Kickstarter and seriously donate to these 2 incredible people. Like they're really setting an example for the way the world is truly becoming. So
I think the biggest thing would just be people to help us share and spread the word.
Okay.
Just being more open with social media, talking to family and friends about it, and just invest a little bit of time. You know, everybody has such a short attention span these days, like goldfish almost. You know, take 5 minutes out of your day and watch the videos and watch the things that we put together, learn a little bit about us, and then help us spread the word for what we're doing. And I think that would make more impact than money.
We want everybody to know about it.
Incredible. Okay, so Kickstarter, donate to these incredible individuals. Jaymie and Hannah, you're amazing. So donate money. They need money because every business needs money to get off the ground. And then the second thing is we are going to help you spread the word, but help spread the word. So we're going to put their video up online. All you have to do is hit share now, hit like, watch the video, increase your attention span. Like, how long is the video?
The main one is about 4.5 minutes. Yeah.
The longest one we did was 15 minutes, but that's a really long.
That's about us. If you want to learn more specifically about us.
But a lot of our videos they're pretty short, 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes or less, people, and you can help this company like become huge and successful. So watch the video, 5 minutes. Engineers, who else would design packaging? What do you call people who design packaging? Package makers?
I guess. Anybody have any ideas about that even? Or we've had a lot of people email in and say, hey, you know, look at what these guys are doing. And it's given us some really, really great leads that have got us to where we are. So anybody with anything like that would be much appreciated as well.
Or bulk suppliers for ingredients. Like
ingredients that we can't grow on our own.
For example, like tapioca starch, like finding a big amount of that. Or somewhere where you can get really, really sustainable cocoa butter or shea butter. I know you can get it from other parts of the world rather than from like somewhere local, right? Because it's from over there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so anything like that would be incredible.
Okay, so suppliers out there, if you have products that you can supply to Hannah and Jaymie, that would be incredible. Let's chat as well, because we have a whole series of suppliers that we work with, and we like to research them and see where the products are coming from. So we can give you some names of that, and happy to share that with you. And then, yeah, buy their products. So when we have the iPad up with the Green Mustache, please come in there, register for their subscription program so you can have their incredible beauty products delivered to your home every single month. I can't wait to try the toothpaste. I have not tried it yet, but yes, I can't wait to. And for my kids as well, I know that they're going to love it. Yeah. And technically, this could be used for little kids because every little child swallows toothpaste. And if they're swallowing, you know, all the other mass-produced terrible stuff, that's not good. They're getting all that stuff in them. So that's good to know as well. Parents are going to love this product line for your babies because your baby skins do not need to be smothered in toxic beauty products at all.
On that note, I looked up Johnson's baby lotion, and there was 19 chemicals in it.
Yeah, I know. And I see, and you know, the thing is, people are so, and their attention spans are short, right? So they'll look at the bottle of the Johnson's product and say all natural, but all natural is a trademark name. It doesn't mean that it is all natural. So it's important to know that reading labels, unfortunately, 90% of the stuff that they say, they're not actually number one listing all the ingredients because they actually don't have to. And they can come up with these beautiful names that make you feel like you're doing a good thing when in fact you are just putting more chemicals and toxins into your body. And so, yeah, definitely just be really mindful about that. And I would say the number one thing you can do is ask any one of your product makers, you know, if you can eat the product, because if you can, then you know it's going to be good for your body.
It's a really good rule to go by.
Yeah. Okay, and then do a timeline for when the land will start to be worked and where we can come and visit. Oh, good.
This spring, it's an ambitious goal, but yeah, this spring we expect to kind of really start getting going. We still don't know exactly where the money's coming from yet, but it always shows up.
The money, that's one thing I've learned is that when you ask for it, you tell people what you're doing, the money shows up. Especially in this day and age, we get a lot of investors that come to us and say, you know, can we give you our money? And I always ask why. Like, why do you want to give us your money? Like, we're a small, you know, a fast-growing, you know, company. But at the same time, you know, you can go invest in anything you want. And then the general theme is that there's a lot of individuals out there, they've made a lot of money over the last like 20, 30 years through some of these companies that are not sustainable. And what they want to do is put their money to good. They've woken up, they realize that, you know, they can help people like yourselves, people like us, and they really just want to see the world be better. They don't want to, you know, leave this world just only remembering the money that they made, and sometimes in the most unsustainable ways. So if you ever want to talk about investors, I'm happy to chat with you. You probably don't want to get investors now because I have a feeling you guys can thrive on your own. But when that day and age comes, and maybe for the land, there's definitely people who want to invest. I'll tell you a quick little story before we wrap up. When I first moved to Whistler, my dream was to build a kibbutz eco community commune, and not for its, you know, political or so, you know, it was really for the social factors. We can cook dinners together. We can raise
That's exactly what I want to do.
And you need to do it because I already had babies and I realized it when I had my first babe. I had a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old. And I realized we should not be living by ourselves in these individual houses. You know, you have 100 houses on a street. They're all cooking dinner by themselves separately. They're eating, and it is so hard. It is actually a lot of work trying to raise a family on your own. And so I was like, maybe we can build this, you know, eco community, this village. And so I actually put an ad on Craigslist. This is about 9 years ago. And I said, hi everyone, we just moved to Whistler. We want to see who would be interested in starting an eco village. And we had responses from all over the world. And all of the individuals that were engineers and architects and biologists, and they were just all people who said, we're ready to do it, let's do it. And I don't know if I got scared. I also was just about to have another baby. We're thinking about having another baby. I was pretty tired because I moved to Whistler. It was a crazy time. And I don't know what happened. Life just, you know, continued to stay busy, and we never did it. But I really hope that you make that happen and do it before you start having kids, because then it'll already be set up and established. And I really think it's the way of the future, because people are burnt out. Like my generation, we are burnt out from trying to raise our kids on our own. Our mothers did it. And, you know, we've seen the price that they pay, a lot of antidepressants, you know, a lot of chemicals and prescription meds to help them get by. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so I think you guys are on the right track. I want to thank you for taking the trip to come and visit. Honestly, you're so incredible. And we'll do whatever it takes to help promote your business. I think it's amazing. Yeah. So thanks everyone for being with us. We're going to have all the contact information. Where can they find you? What's your website?
Naturalveganproducts.com.
Naturalveganproducts.com. We'll put the link there. We'll put the videos alongside this video as well, which you can find on YouTube. And just keep on track with what these people are doing, because they are seriously, they are making it happen and in the right ways. So thank you for staying with us, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's scooch up here and click end. Bye everyone.